Hi everyone, my name is Shauna and Keisha and welcome back to another video. I am so incredibly tired today, but I need to film a video for this week, so we're just going to do a book tag. These are like my comfort videos to film, but I feel like I haven't filmed a book tag in quite a while. Today I'm going to be doing the Umbrella Academy book tag. I will link the take creator down in the description below. Essentially there's 7 different prompts with this one that are based on the 7 main characters from the Umbrella Academy. So number 1 is Spaceboy, aka Luther. I'm thinking this is about the moon. Name a character you are obsessed with even if others might not see why. So I really like the Throne of Glass series, and there's a wide range of characters in there, and there's one character who I like, and it is a very controversial take. I am part of a book club over on Fable, and as we were reading the Throne of Glass series, everyone was like, I hate that dude, I can't stand him, rah rah rah, and I'm just sitting there like, he's one of my favorites. He's one of my favorites. And that's Kale. I like Kale. I think he's an interesting character. I think he did something in book 2 that was not great, but I think he redeemed himself, and I also understand where he came from for why he did what he did in book 2. So I'm a Kale defender. I like Kale. I'm obsessed with Kale. I cosplayed from Crescent City recently, and I really want to cosplay from Throne of Glass, but like I have this like thing in my brain where sometimes I picture characters like so easily, which happened with Crescent City, which is why I'm planning on cosplaying from Crescent City more. But with Throne of Glass, like even though I love the characters, I can't like visualize what they look like very well, and I'm like, I want to cosplay like Kale and Dorian, and I just can't get my brain to like visualize them well enough to cosplay them. But maybe I'll just like, I don't know, if I find good fan art I might be like, okay, screw it, I'm gonna cosplay them. But who knows what'll happen, who knows what'll happen. Prompt number 2 is the Kraken, aka Diego. When he throws knives, Diego never misses. Name a book series or author where all of the books have been a hit. I mean, I don't think there's really many authors that I've read their full entire collection of books. I don't know, this is tough. I'm trying to think of authors where I've rated every single book 4 stars or above, because even like my favorite authors, there will be misses every once in a while. The first one that's coming to mind is so problematic that I'm not going to name her. Is there someone else? Screw it, I'm doing Aiden Thomas. I've read 2 books by Aiden Thomas so far, and I liked both of them. I read The Sunbury Trials, which is one that I finished reading this month. The Sunbury Trials is so good. It's like a deadly competition inspired by Mexican mythology. And then I read Cemetery Boys, which is a romance and mystery set in modern times with lots of Latinx influence. I haven't read all of Aiden's books yet. I believe I need to read Lost in the Neverwoods and the sequel to the Sunbury Trials. Is the sequel to the Sunbury Trials out? I think it is, but I think those are the only ones I need to read. But I'll get there. I'll get there. Aiden Thomas is also like very local to me, and I try and support local authors, and so I want to finish reading all of Aiden's books some days. But the 2 that I've read have both been 4 stars, so neither of them were a miss. Yeah, there's Lost in the Neverwoods and Celestial Monsters, and then the one that's coming out next year is Espiritu, which, ooh, the sequel to Cemetery Boys. I'm excited. Okay, number 3, The Rumor, aka Allison. I heard a rumor. Name a book you haven't read yet but heard was great. A little thing about Allison with me, I haven't seen the final season of Umbrella Academy and I haven't read the comics yet, but I was like a huge Allison fan. Like she was my like ultimate comfort character in the first 2 seasons. What was her character arc in season 3? Like why did that happen? I mean, I know that it happens in the comics, so I guess they're just following through with the comics, but like my comfort character was ruined and I was so upset. Anyways, a book I haven't read yet, but I heard was great. I'm gonna look at my shelf for this and see what comes to mind. I feel like I've heard mixed reviews of most of the most popular books, but I think The Cruel Prince is one that I've heard mostly positive things about. I don't know what it's about. I know the characters, I know there's like Jude and Carden. Is there a love triangle there? I don't know. I know it's some like young adult fantasy. I really want to read it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but maybe that will be a book that I try and get around to really soon. But yeah, I've heard mostly good things about that one. It's by Holly Black. I have a few other books by Holly Black as well. I also have The Coldest Girl in Cold Town, Darkest Part of the Forest, and I can't see that book far enough on my shelf, but I believe I have another Holly Black book there. I want to get into Holly's books. I really want to. And I'm hoping that they work really well for me because I need new worlds to be obsessed with, because I feel like most of the books I've read this year I haven't been like super uber in love with. Like most of them have just been okay, or I'm like, I like them but they aren't a new obsession, you know? And I need more obsessions in my life. Let's go to number 4. Oh my god. How do I say that? The Seace? I don't know. It's Klaus. It's Klaus. The quote, it says, "Hey, did I ever tell you at the time I waxed my ass with chocolate pudding? Name your favorite sarcastic asshole or cinnamon roll." I'm really bad at identifying sarcasm, but I'm gonna try my best. The reason I'm bad at identifying sarcasm is because I sometimes miss out on social cues, and sarcasm is one of those things that I miss out on. For sarcastic asshole, I think I'm gonna go with Altair from We Hunt the Flame, but I'm also so bad at recognizing sarcasm that I could be like so totally out of line with saying that. We Hunt the Flame is a young adult fantasy series, and it is by Hafsa Faisal, and it is a fantasy romance about this assassin who goes on a journey to recover an artifact and the prince who is sent to kill her. It's really dense with description, so you really have to push through it, but it is a really good series. And then I'm also going to do Cinnamon Roll. I know it just says or, but I'm going to do Cinnamon Roll as well. I love Cinnamon Roll characters, and one of the ones that always comes to mind is Henry from The Deceivers. The Deceivers is the first book in the Vale Hall series, and it's by Kristen Simmons, and it's a series about a school for scam artists. And I think Henry stands out so much to me because when it's a school for scam artists, you obviously have a lot of people that are doing very dark and twisted things, especially to get information, to scam people, and Henry does do some of that, but he is also just so, like, I don't know if pure is the right word, because he's not pure, but like he has this cinnamon roll vibe to him that like the other characters in the school don't have, so he always stands out to me. Okay, on to number 5, The Boy. You know what sucks? Going through puberty twice. Name a book from your childhood that you would really like to reread. The Legend series. I read the Legend graphic novel recently, and it like revived my love for the series, and I really want to reread it now. The Legend series had such a huge impact on my life when I was in middle school and high school. Like, it was peak dystopia. It was like popular around the time of like Hunger Games, Maze Runner, Divergent, all that. It's so good, and I feel like it's one that like I wish its influence would have stayed around more. I feel like if it had a movie, its influence would have stayed around more. But anyways, I love the Legend series, and I've been wanting to reread it ever since I read the graphic novel recently. Question number 6, The Horror, aka Ben. We all know Ben died too soon. Name a book or series where you think the hype died down too quickly. Too quickly. The Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series. Screw it, I'll say that. It was a really solid series, and the hype died down for it way too soon. There is still somewhat of a dedicated fan base, but it is very small. Like, it was one that was hyped a ton back in the day, and I feel like the hype died down before the series was finished, so a lot of people never fully finished the series. I still love it. I care about that series so much. I love Ransom Briggs's writing. I think he's a great writer, and he's really great at world building. And I think the Mr. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series is so unique because of its inclusion of antique photos in the book itself. Like they're incorporated into the book, and a lot of the plot points are based off these antique photos that Ransom Briggs found. So I think it's a great series, and I love that there are still some people who love it. I just feel like the hype isn't fully there anymore, and I feel like the hype died down before the series finished. There is 8 books in the series. There's the main 6 books, a little like collection of short stories, and there's also a like companion book type thing. But yeah, I wish that one still had hype because I really enjoyed that one. So this take was created before Elliot Page came out, and also it has a lot of influence from the comics, so I will say Vanya right now because specifically it does reference the comic bind-up right here. It says number 7, the White Violin, aka Vanya, who is now Victor in the show. Spoiler alert, through the first season of the show and through the first volume of the comic bind-up, Apocalypse Suite, Vanya discovers that she is not the weakest of the group. Name a character with a power greater than it first appears. I honestly feel like it's a common trope in most of the books that I read for people to like appear normal and then end up having powers, or to appear very weak and then end up getting powers. So I feel like it's like very common in the books that I read to have this sort of concept and idea in there. But I'm gonna go with Percy Jackson for this one because he doesn't know anything about the world of demigods at the start of the series, and so he doesn't fully understand his powers and what he can do, and he becomes really strong by the end of the series. I still need to read the new books that came out within the past few years. Books like, was it 6 and 7 of Percy Jackson? There's like a couple that came out that take place after Heroes of Olympus. I need to read those ones. I'm hoping to do that soon. I might also be doing a Percy Jackson cosplay soon. I've been in talks with doing a Percy Jackson group with my friend for a while now, and it might happen. Who knows? But you can always check my Instagram to see what happens with that and if it ends up happening anytime soon. So those were all of the 7 prompts for this book tag. I hope all of you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to me if you haven't already. All of the prompts will be listed down in the description below if you would like to do this tag. Feel free to do the tag. Consider yourself tagged if you want to do this tag. Again, the tag creator will also be linked down in the description below if you would like to go check out the tag creator. I try to upload a video at least once a week, so my next video will be uploaded next week, and I'll see all of you in my next video. Until next time, everyone, goodbye.